Hey, I'm Troye Sivan, and you are watching my most requested live Ask Me Anything chat. I just wanted to say thank you to Romeo and the fans before I start. Let's get answering your questions. Jamie from Fairfield asks, what has been the most difficult part about performing on 2 worldwide tours this year? The most difficult part is staying healthy, for sure. I think it's like all the traveling and all of like the dry air in hotel rooms and stuff like that makes me lose my voice and stuff. Gustavo from Sao Paulo says, if you could have one superhero Gustavo from Sao Paulo says, if you could have one superpower, what would it be and why? It would probably be to fly. I'm torn between walking through walls so I can rob banks and flying, but I just feel like, I don't know if I'd actually have I feel like my moral compass is too much. I wouldn't be able to rob the banks, but I could definitely fly. Natalie from Columbus says, which artist would you love to work with in the future? I want to write for like pop stars. Like I want to write for Katy Perry and Taylor Swift and stuff like that. That would be really, really dope. Rita from Singapore says, are you coming to Asia soon? I definitely want to. I kind of want to come this year and do some maybe touring and stuff. Iselle from San Diego says, how was meeting Halsey? What was she like? She's the best. She is so cool and just such a genuine person. Yeah, I don't know, we grabbed dinner the one night, we had sushi, and then she came to my shows in LA, and yeah, we'd been hanging out for like 10 minutes, and she was like, do you want to come stay at my house? And I was like, yes. But we haven't had that happen yet, but she's just lovely. Brandon from Orange says, where do you typically get your clothes from? I get my clothes from all over the place. It depends. If I'm doing something really important, I will get some like Saint Laurent stuff. But that's like only if I'm doing like Ellen or Jimmy Fallon or something like that. The rest of the time it's like a lot of Top Man, it's a lot of Forever 21, and yeah, just stuff like that, Zara. Jasmine from Okinawa says, what do you say to people who are trying to get into the music industry? Love you, XX. I love you too. I would say the music industry has changed so much over the last like 15 years, and I would just say that you kind of don't have to, you know, like go out and I guess like, you know, you don't have to go out and like play little bars anymore and stuff like that and just like hope you can get recognized, because the internet exists. So just start putting stuff out online and like maybe send it to some music blogs and see if anyone likes it. Nim from Toronto says, do you like playing video games, and if so, what's your favorite game? I didn't think I liked playing video games until very recently, and now I do like playing video games because I fell in love with GTA, and I like beat the game, and I love it so much. I just love like flying helicopters and driving cars really fast. Oishi from the Bronx says, what is your favorite letter of the alphabet? It's for science. I've never thought about that ever before. I'm gonna say S. I feel like it's just like a really solid letter, and yeah, I don't know, I just feel like it's common, sounds nice, yeah. Logan from Denver says, what's it like to be part of the Marvel Universe? Who is your favorite Marvel superhero? So for those of you who don't know, I was in X-Men Origins Wolverine when I was like 13, and I played young Wolverine, and I got to have like bone claws and stuff. It was my first ever acting job, and I didn't even know that I wanted to act before then. So it was like the craziest welcome into the acting world, and the fans are so awesome and so cool. Plus I've been watching X-Men since I was a little kid, and I'm obsessed with it, so it was an insane opportunity for me. But my favorite Marvel superhero, can I cheat and just say like, I really like Storm. I'd say her. Olivia from New York City says, if you had to create a fan account for another artist, who would it be for? The 1975. Amy from Keensburg says, Troy, how does it make you feel when you walk on stage and you see all the fans? I get the same exact feeling every single night that I have since I played my first live show a couple months ago. It's like my heart sinks. I try and sort of like get into character a little bit, because I feel like, I'm like, these people have paid to see like a show. You gotta put on a show. You can't just be like Troy from down the street. You gotta like, you know, entertain. So I try and like get into it. Ella from Melbourne, Australia says, what has been your proudest moment? I'd probably say like doing Ellen, maybe, was probably my proudest moment. Charlie from Los Altos says, what's your favorite song you've ever written and why? I would say Ease with Broods. I just love Broods so much, and I was so excited about the idea of working with them and kind of had like what I wanted the song to sound like in my head, and that's exactly how it came out. It just makes me feel really warm and fuzzy inside. Amanda from Bradford says, if you could be anyone else for a day, who would it be? I would love to, I mean, I'm sure everyone answers this, but I would love to be Beyonce. I just want to see like the inner workings of her life. Like if she just wants to go to the shops for food, how does that work? Megan from Denville says, how did you decide the order of your set list? It's kind of a weird thing to have to do. You have to sort of put yourself in the mindset of the show and feel like, okay, so, you know, like I did a lot of this kind of emotion where I'm like, okay, the show, like, you know, starts off on a high and then like maybe have like a little bit of a more chill moment or whatever, and then let's like really ramp it up, and then towards the end we want it to be like, you know, so working out that kind of stuff and just, yeah, having a good think. Anna from Kelowna says, where are some of the scenes in the Blue Neighborhood trilogy awkward to film? Yeah, just the kissing ones. Kissing scenes are always so weird to film. So weird. Michelle from Hobart says, favorite cereal, I love you, by the way, you talented little angel. Thanks, Michelle. My favorite cereal is Milo cereal. You guys don't have that in America, but in Australia we do, and it's the best. Shannon from Los Angeles says, if you had to describe Blue Neighborhood to someone who had never heard it, how would you do it? I normally just say it's like alternative pop. Like, yeah, really just like honest pop from like a young person's perspective, I guess. Sarah from Sydney says, do you have a secret talent apart from singing? Everyone knows that I can do this, but I can bend my fingers back, all the way back. Yeah. Sorry, everyone. Miaja from Minneapolis says, what do you do to lift your spirits and entertain yourself when you're on the tour bus? To be honest, so far all I've really done is sleep on the tour bus. But we go to the front lounge and we'll sit and play games with the band and stuff like that, and that's always really fun. Yeah, I had all of these TV shows and movies like ready to go downloaded, and I haven't watched a single one yet, just because every time I get on the bus I'm like, straight away. Christy from Seattle says, how do you snap your fingers like that? I always wanted to know. If you're referring to this, it's because I'm like double jointed or whatever. I guess I was born that way. But if you're talking about this, it's essentially this fingernail hitting this fingernail. So you do that and then you go. And you just like gotta relax your finger. And there you go. Jamina from Guadalajara says, why are you so cute? Why are you so talented? Why are you the male version of Beyonce? Are you an angel? Answer, please. Thank you. I don't even know how to respond. Thank you. Taylor from Ottawa says, what is the greatest piece of advice anyone has ever given you, and who was it? I think, to be honest, I think this is probably like a bit in my head. All of my greatest advices come from my dad. But if I had to like think of someone like cool, that's a cool story, I was in Waiting for Godot, which is like a stage play with Sir Ian McKellen when I was like 15, and I wasn't out to anyone yet, to my family or anything, and he's obviously openly gay and just like such a legend. And he, I just remember him like saying something to me along the lines of like, you'll be okay, or like something like that. It was something very small that I probably like took on in such a huge way, but I think he like knew what I was going through and is like, chill, you're gonna be fine. And again, he could have just literally been talking to me about something completely else and just said, you'll be okay, and I would have been like, yes, Sir Ian McKellen, I will be okay. Thank you so much, sir. And like bowed. Jasmine from Orlando says, how many bottles of water do you go through a day? I'm genuinely curious. At the moment, I'm not really feeling that well, so I'm going through like literally 5 or 6. But normally, like 1, maybe 2. It's bad. Kate from Kirov says, what's the most interesting adventure you've ever been on? I would probably say my family and I were in South Africa, where I'm from, and we drove from Johannesburg to the Kruger National Park, which is like an 8-hour drive, and that was insane. It was like I saw so much. It was beautiful. Lynn from Sweden says, how's the Swedish learning going? Say something in Swedish. Oh god, I've forgotten everything. I'm using Duolingo, the app, to try and learn Swedish and failing miserably. But I can say Jag äter bröd. I eat bread. Jag dricker vatten. I drink water. That's pretty much it. Also, I've even forgotten how to say I don't speak Swedish. I'm sorry. Kartika from Surabaya says, how often do you call your mum and what's it usually about? My mum and I speak on the phone like once a day, and it's only just like a catch up of what's going on in life. Ruby from Chico says, who was the first artist you were completely obsessed with? When I was a little kid, Michael Jackson. And then when I was like a conscious adult, I would say Amy Winehouse. Oh, that's the end. Thank you all so much, and thank you, Romeo, for having me on the Most Requested Live. I want to meet all of you guys one day soon, and yeah, just wanted to say thank you so much. Bye. Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
That felt like making a YouTube video.
Flawless.
Yeah.
That's exactly what making a YouTube video feels like. Except normally I'm like pressing stop.
Doing it yourself, yeah.